I was able to get multiple six-figure offers before I even finished high school, from 110K OTE to 150K OTE, and I watched multiple other people do the exact same thing, and it was all in the same industry. And without that industry, I have no idea what I would have done. I probably would have gone to college, and that's because it has one of the lowest barrier of entry, where you don't need a degree. There's no major for it in college, which is why you don't need a degree. And you have one of the highest potential earnings out of any other industry because it's actually correlated to how well you do to how much money you actually get paid at the end of the day. And that industry is sales. I went into tech sales specifically, but any B2B sales where you're selling from business to business, the company that you work at to other companies, instead of selling B2C, which is business to consumer. And the reason that I went into it is because I knew that I didn't want to go into college. I knew I wanted to find something else that I could do that actually makes me a good amount of money, but really just a vehicle that allowed me to completely skip those 4 years of my life. I'll be going into debt to learn general education in classes about things that I didn't care about because I knew that I wanted to have my own business one day. And instead I went into that and I got paid to learn sales. The skill of sales that I could then put into my own business down the line and at least just enrich myself, buy myself time instead of committing for 4 years and getting paid while I do all of that. Now, in B2B sales, really in most sales roles, you're going to start as a setter. Whether that be for 6 months to a year, sometimes a year and a half. For me, it was only 5 months, where you're essentially setting the sales appointments for an account executive that's going to close them. So it's called an SDR or BDR, sales development representative, or a business development representative, where you're making cold calls, LinkedIn outreach, emails, things like that, to reach out to people, generate a little bit of interest, and get them on a sales call with somebody else to close them. Eventually, you get promoted, become an account executive, doing the exact same thing. And as an SDR, learning those skills from the very beginning, I was able to get a role for 120K OTE. Most roles you can get 85, 95K OTE straight out of high school, and barely anybody is doing this. And I was able to get multiple offers in less than 2 months when I had no idea what the industry even was when I was doing it. And I kind of needed to figure it all out on myself because there's courses out there online to help you do it, but none of them are actually targeted on how to do it when you're 18. I was literally doing interviews from my high school building in between classes. Sometimes instead of going to class, I'd get one of the teachers, my chemistry teacher would give me headroom. So I kind of needed to figure it all out by myself, which really makes the amount of money that you can make uncapped because the better that you do, the faster you progress. It becomes really easy to see who's actually doing good, who's putting in the work, and you continue to progress, which is why you're able to sometimes be an SDR for 5 months. Most of the time it will take longer, but if you're able to put in the work, it's going to show one in your paycheck, but also in how fast you can progress. And I'm not saying this is something you should do for the rest of your life by any means, but it is by far the best industry to get started if you want to skip college, you're not sure what to go to, because you get paid more than most people would after college. You can get into it in less than 2 months without having any sort of sales experience, and you continue and build up those skills as you do it. You get paid to learn the skills, and then you can then put that into something of yourself. That's exactly what I did. I got into it exactly this time last year. I was in it for 11 and a half months, was able to get a role for 120K, was in there for 11 and a half months, paid for all my benefits, food, transportations. I had a learning stipend for whatever thing I wanted for self-development, paid for my gym membership, for my Muay Thai membership, Ubers to work, and I was able to learn the skill. I'm now able to transfer that to so many different parts of life, beyond just selling, but actually talking to people, talking to the camera, which if you watch any of my videos from a year ago, I sucked at. And when I watch it back, I don't even understand what I was saying. And now I'm able to put all of that, the money that I saved the entire time, the skills that I learned, the experiences that I've had, who I became as a person, I'm able to put that into something of myself, which was always the plan from the very get-go. But I would have never been able to do this if I went to college instead of getting into tech sales. So if you're 18, you're about to finish high school in like 2 weeks at this point, and you're not sure what you can do. If you decided to take a gap year and you know you don't want to go to college, maybe you're already in college and you're a year and a half, 2 years now, maybe even 3 years in, and you know you don't want to go down the regular 9 to 5 path, or you know that you can do something starting now. Instead of paying to learn for school, you can get paid to learn the skill of sales, and then you can put that towards something else or continue and advance for years within that technology. But if you know that that's not something you can do, I 100% encourage you to just take action. I had no idea what it was when I first heard about it. I did research for less than 1 week, started applying, continued to learn as I went, and I was able to get multiple six-figure offers. And I made an entire video just breaking everything down, from what you need to know about the industry to what you should put on your resume, things like that, but really how you need to outreach and do the job to get the job, so that recruiters and hiring managers actually want to hire you, and it just becomes impossible to actually ignore you. So I'll put that video on the screen right now. Just give it a watch. It's like 40 minutes, and it can genuinely save you 4 entire years of your life.